Hey guys, Mike the Vike here, back for yet another Rust update video. This week we got quite a few major changes, mostly to nighttime and items that have to do with nighttime. You know, there's a lot of debate whether people want it like this or not, but it's definitely cool. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing more Rust update videos from me, don't forget to leave a like on the video, helps quite a lot. Okay, so the first major change this week is going to be the admire animations are now rolled out. Simply equip a weapon and then press N on it and you'll be able to check it out. You get a nice play side and backside. Very simple, very nice. Works on all the major guns. It also works on tools and stuff that have skins. See, because there's quite a few items in the game that are skinnable, you know? So I believe almost all of them are done. I'm going to try the hammer, because I know you can do the hammer. Yeah, see? Even the hammer has the admire animation, which is kind of neat. Of course, you can hold down Alt and you can look around, you know, get some different perspectives. But yeah, great work. They also made a bunch of adjustments to the upkeep system. So now when you place down a base, it's immediately going to warn you about placing down a tool cupboard and of course stuff like that. So if I place down a tool cupboard, it's then going to tell me to fill it up. See, add resources so your base doesn't decay. You know, for new players, this is just going to help people out, of course, which I think is great. Then the other great thing, so I'm just going to do this as if it's actually happening. Now it says, see, up on the bottom right, how it says upkeep time, 72 hours. So that's going to automatically update and give you a rough idea of when your base is going to decay. It was really annoying that you had to go to your actual TC in order to see if your base was decaying or not. And of course, yeah, like it showed, if you don't have enough, it's going to say that your base is decaying. So anyway, great feature, and it's just going to help a lot of people out. They also messed with some of the tiers in the upkeep. Basically, beyond a certain amount of blocks in a TC's area, the cost will increase. So for the second tier of decaying, they increased it by 50 blocks. This means you would have to have 50 more blocks placed in that TC's area. Anyway, all this is going to mean is upkeep should now be a pretty decent amount cheaper, which is great. They also increased the decay on some tiers, so stone now decays in 5 hours instead of 3, and metal decays in 8 hours instead of 5. So definitely some nice tweaks. It was a little bit too harsh, you know, upkeep was just too savage. Next up, they made a bunch of changes to nighttime. So if there is no moon out, the night times are actually going to be darker than usual. However, if there is a moon out, the night times are going to be brighter. So it's a bit of a compromise. They're kind of hoping that if there's no moon out, everybody is forced to use some sort of in-game tool, such as a miner's hat or some of the newly added items. I think I don't know, honestly, what I prefer. Some people want nighttime to be brighter overall, like regardless, and others want it even darker so that everybody has to use it. I think if they want to go through with this whole making it darker thing, they might as well add like an OP item such as like night vision. I think that's just kind of asking for it. Now, to help out new players with nighttime, they've added this new flashlight. It's a default blueprint, and it's very cheap. It's only 30 metal fragments. You can actually melee bash with it, which is kind of nice, but it does lose health quite quickly. As you can see bottom right, it's very quick. Damage-wise, I mean, it's not very good. 15 damage, a rock is 10, and a hatchet is 25. But, you know, whatever, at least it does something. And they also added flares, you know, legacy throwback, which is kind of cool. You can see nice little effect. It's a little odd, honestly, like the flare itself is green. Not the best time to see it, but it is green, I promise. The icon's red, but whatever. You know, you can do a light throw by right-clicking. They're kind of nice. I think they're pretty. I'm a fan. You can craft them. I don't think it's a default blueprint, but, you know, they're pretty cheap anyway. If people are all tactical, this might actually help at nighttime with PvP. Like if you're in a raid, bring a whole bunch of these with you. Might help actually, that'd be kind of cool. Last week they added in the window garlands, you might remember. Well, this week they've now made it so that if you bought the window garlands last week, you now get free of charge the very nice door garlands, which you can just place on any good old-fashioned door. And now you got a nice fancy looking thing, goes very well with a wreath, of course. Definitely a nice touch, makes your door look that much more Christmassy. The crossbow can now also accept flashlights, which is kind of nice. Definitely going to help with that early game nighttime action. You can also put the laser sight on there, but the dev said that it's totally inaccurate, so don't really waste your time with it. Yeah, you can see that laser sight doesn't really work, but you know, it will work in the future, they said. Now this one's been annoying for quite a while, but they now made it so there's no player collision with downed players. This one has been really annoying when you're trying to go deep on a base. You would get stopped in the doorway by the downed guy, but that's no longer a thing. You can trample on anybody that's downed, which is fantastic. We're also getting a nice preview of the building supplies loot box. It looks very industrial and fantastic. The model is very, very sharp. Oh, and Thomas also had a chance to work on the chainsaw model, but we haven't gotten a taste of it, but here's what the old one looks like. But yeah, definitely cool that we're going to be getting a chainsaw. That's going to be everything for this week. I didn't bother including, you know, the fixes and glitches and all that, because I just don't think it's worth mentioning. But yeah, definitely a nice little week. The nighttime changes and additions are definitely cool. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.